Hello everyone. Namaste. I am Deepak Kumar, a student of LLM in my first semester at the esteemed Central University of Haryana. Today I am grateful for the opportunity to dwell into a critical topic assigned by the knowledgeable Sri Rakesh Meena sir. Now, my topic is the surgical strike by the Indian Armed Forces within the territory of Pakistan, the responsibility of India under public international law and international humanitarian law. Before we begin, a heartfelt thank to Sri Rakesh Pinasar for interesting me with this thought-provoking topic. Let's navigate through the key points we will about to discussing today. First of all, we will discuss about the introductory and historical background of the incident. Then we move to the why surgical strike took place, meaning of surgical strike, and on the very next topic, responsibility of India under public international law and international humanitarian law, how India deals with international pressure after the surgical strike, and of course with relevant case law Nicaragua versus USA. Now let's start our topic with the introduction part. What was happened? What was the need of surgical strike? Let's clear through the introductory and historical part. Though, so what was happened? The Uri attack, the four heavily armed terrorists, four heavily armed terrorists from Pakistan occupied POK crossed the line of control and launched an attack on an Indian army camp in Kashmir on September 18, 2016. The attack started a gun battle between the terrorists and army that lasted about 6 hours. In this, 18 soldiers were killed. They attained a Veer and 20 injured in this attack. All four terrorists were killed. The army said outfit was Jaish-e-Mohammed was behind this attack. This was the most severe attack on the armed forces in Kashmir in the close of 2 decades. It did less than a year after the terrorist attack on the Air Force Station in Pathankot. The Uri terror attack caused several strain in the relations between India and Pakistan, with Pakistan issuing the standard denial of supporting the terrorist. India launched a massive diplomatic effort to isolate Pakistan on the international stages. India also retained with the surgical strike across the LOC 10 days later. That was our topic. After 10 days, causing significant casualty to the terrorist men and the Pakistan army position protecting them. Now we came on our next topic, why the surgical strike took place. Answer is very simple, that due to the state sponsored terrorism by Pakistan, they invade the territory of India and attack our military establishment. According to the UN Charter, Article 2, Subclause 4 describes that the United Nations Charter prohibits the use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. Now, the question comes that the why the surgical strike took place. So, now basically Article 51 of UN Charter talks also about the right of self-defense. Here, we took surgical strike on the terroring launch pads with an excuse that under Article 15 of UN Charter that talks about the self-defense to maintain international peace and security. Now, we came on the conclusion that what is taken place on the very 16th September of 2016 and what is the need of surgical strike. Now we came on the definition section. What is exactly a surgical strike in the meaning of international law? So surgical strike means a surgical strike is a precise and targeted military attack designed to damage or destroy a specific target without causing widespread damage to surrounding areas. The term surgical implies a high degree of precision, much like a surgeon. Precise actions during a medical operation. Example, imagine a country wants to eliminate a terrorist training camp. So, a terrorist training camp located in a remote area with another country. Instead of launching a large-scale attack that could harm nearby civilian areas, the military might plan and execute a surgical strike. Special forces or precise guided missile could be used to target only the terrorist camp. Here we have to give attention on the word used to target only the terrorist camp, minimizing damage to the surrounding region, minimize the collateral damage. The goal of a surgical strike is to achieve a specific military objective with precision and efficiency, avoiding unnecessary harm to civilian and infrastructure. Now we came to the our next point, that what is the responsibilities of India under PIL. We do not talk about the responsibility of India. We will talk about the overall countries who are non-state actors and invade the territory of another sovereign country. So first responsibility of that country was sovereignty and non-intervention. Public international law, states are expected to respect the sovereignty of other states and refrain from intervening in their internal affairs. Any violation of principle of non-intervention can be considered as a breach of international law. Now, second point, use of force. The use of force by one state against another is generally prohibited unless it is in self-defense as recognized by Article 51 of the UN Charter or authorized by the United Nations Security Council, Indian International Humanitarian Law. If the situation involves armed conflict, the rule of international humanitarian law comes into play. International IHL sets out principles for the conduct of armed forces during armed conflicts, whether international or non-international. Third, occupation. If the armed forces occupy the territory of another state, the rule of occupation, as outlined in the Hague Regulation and the Fourth Geneva Convention, come into the effect. States' responsibility. If a state violates the sovereignty of another, it may be held internationally responsible for its actions. The injured state may seek remedies through diplomatic means, international tribunals, and international courts of justice. Now, human rights. The action of state armed forces are also subject to the international human rights law. Any violation of human rights during the crossing of another state territory may lead to international security and accountability. Now, accountability of war crimes. If there are allegations of war crimes committed by the armed forces during the presence in another state territory, individuals may be held accountable under international criminal law. The International Criminal Court has jurisdiction over certain serious crimes committed in the violation of IHL. Now, diplomacy and resolution. Diplomacy and peaceful resolution of conflicts are encouraged in international relations. States are expected to engage in dialogue, negotiation to resolve dispute rather than resorting to the use of force. Now, we came to our next topic. How does India deals decision to conduct surgical strike hold up in the international law? First of all, the striking places are on the disputed territory between India and Pakistan. Pakistan occupied Kashmir. The launch pads are situated in that area. So, on September 29, India said it had conducted surgical strike across the line of control to prevent terrorism, preventive measure, from infiltrating its territory. At the joint briefing by the Foreign Minister and the Defense Ministry also, it was emphasized that operation were basically focused to ensure that these terrorists do not succeed in their design of infiltration. Meanwhile, Pakistan denied that such attack occurs, as this case involves two states and the use of some form of force by one state on territory effectively controlled by another state, and both states can possibly claim violation by the other, and there is also a possibility of similar incident in the future. The situation needs to be evaluated in accordance with the international. However, the Indian government justification does not seem fit the framework of the UN Charter or international, while India has not provided any definite proof to show that armed attack actually took place. Even though Pakistan also registered that such type of surgical strike was not taking place. So, India does not seem to have reported in the matter of UNSC. Now, we came on our next topic, that is case law. This is the landmark judgment by the International Court of Justice, Nicaragua versus United States of America. In this case, the Republic of Nicaragua versus United States of America was a case where the International Court of Justice (ICJ) held that the US has violated international law, supporting the Contras in their rebellion against the Sandinistas and meaning Nicaragua harbors. The main issue of contention of this legal dispute between the United States and Nicaragua was related to the United States' alleged support of Contra movement in Nicaragua. Nicaragua claimed that the United States had violated international obligation by supporting the Contras in launching attacks on Nicaragua territory with the purpose of overthrowing the government. This issue includes the use of armed forces against Nicaragua, violation of the prohibition of the use of force in international relations, and the prohibition of intervention. Additionally, there was disputed regarding the United States' objection to jurisdiction and non-appearance in the proceedings of the merits. So, here we have discussed about our various aspects of this surgical strike. What were the responsibilities, what was the historical background, what was the need of, and what is the defense in the UN Charter according to the Article 51 with the support of this case law. Now, in the last, we have a small request that if any mistake was made by me in while preparing this presentation, please forgive me, and thank you. Have a nice day.